Welcome to English Story Podcast.
Bath is a very old city in England. It has a beautiful abbey. A lot of people visit the city every year and in the summer. There are always lots of tourists in the streets. Henry and Chloe are students in Bath. They like the city. Henry likes looking at the beautiful old buildings. Chloe likes walking in the little streets. She often finds pretty little shops there and goes into them or she sits with Henry in a cafe and watches the tourists. It's a hot Sunday afternoon. There are a lot of tourists in the Abbey today. People from many countries are going into the Abbey. Let's find a quiet street away from the tourists, Chloe says. Okay, Henry says. He likes being with Chloe. They walk away from the Abbey. After some time, they are in a little street behind the Abbey. There are only 4 or 5 tourists in this street. The shops have small windows and some houses have pretty little gardens. It's quiet here, but Henry and Chloe can hear music. Look, that man is playing a flute. Let's go and listen, Henry says. They walk across the street and watch the man. 3 or 4 people are listening. Why is he playing here? There aren't many tourists in this street, Chloe asks. I don't know. There are only 2 or 3 coins in his hat, Henry says. Henry and Chloe listen to the flute player. I know that tune, Chloe says, and she puts a coin in the man's hat. Henry held her hand and said, Let's go, Chloe. Let's see the shops in the next street. Chloe says, Okay, and they walk away. The flute player watches them. But his tune doesn't stop. He doesn't play very good flute. But the tune is nice, Henry says. There were only 3 coins in his hat, Chloe says. That's because he isn't very good, and he's playing in the wrong street. The tourists are in the next street. They walk to the next street and find a little shop. There are some old coins and stamps in the shop window. They come from different countries. Let's go in here. It's an interesting little shop, Chloe says, and they both enter the shop. The shop is small. Henry and Chloe go in, and an old man watches them. He is the shopkeeper. Good afternoon. What can I do for you? The shopkeeper asks. Can we look at the stamps? Henry asks. The shopkeeper looks at them and asks, Do you collect stamps? No, but I'm going to start collecting them. They're interesting. Yes, they are. The shopkeeper says. Henry looks at some stamps from Russia and some stamps from North America. These stamps are beautiful, he says. The shopkeeper stands near Henry and watches him. The shopkeeper isn't happy. Why? We aren't going to steal his stamps, Chloe thinks. She looks at some coins and asks the shopkeeper, Are these coins very old? They're 400 years old. They're very valuable. Every coin in my shop is valuable. A girl is working in the shop, too. She looks at Chloe. Chloe smiles, but the girl doesn't smile back. Chloe doesn't find her friendly. Suddenly, they hear a telephone ringing in the room behind the shop. The shopkeeper doesn't answer it for a minute. Then he looks at the girl, and she looks at him. They don't speak, but Chloe understands. The shopkeeper doesn't speak, but his look says to the girl, "Watch these students." "Excuse me," he says to Chloe and Henry. Then goes into the back room. Henry is looking at the stamps and says, "Come and see these, Chloe. They're from North America. I want to start collecting them." But Chloe doesn't like the people in this shop. She thinks that they aren't very friendly, and she wants to look at the city. They're very expensive. "Let's go, Henry," she says. The girl watches them, and then she smiles. She's happy because we're going, but why? Chloe thinks. Henry and Chloe go back into the big streets with the tourists. Chloe is happy now because they are not in the shop. But the sun is hot, and Henry wants a drink, he says. "Let's go to a cafe near the park." He wanted the stamps from North America, but he doesn't say this. There are tables outside the cafe. Henry and Chloe sit down. There are a lot of people in the cafe. "Can we go into the museum next?" Chloe asks. "I want a drink first," Henry says. Chloe smiles at him. Henry smiles back. She thinks. He wants the stamps from North America, but they're very expensive. After a minute or two, they hear, "Hey, there you are." Henry and Chloe look up. It's the old man from the shop. What does he want? Henry asks Chloe. "I don't know." He looks angry. What's wrong? The shopkeeper comes to the cafe. He is very angry. "Where are my coins?" he asks. "Your coins? I don't understand. They're missing. Did you steal them?" The shopkeeper says. Chloe and Henry are surprised. The people at the tables near them are surprised too. "Steal your coins?" "No," Chloe says. Her face is hot and red. "We didn't steal any coins or stamps." "What are you saying?" Henry says. He is angry now. "You've got my coins. The coins are missing. And this isn't the first time. Some coins were missing last week. Some students had them too, I think. Did you see the students with the coins?" Henry asks. The old man doesn't answer. A policeman walks down the street to the cafe. He watches Chloe, Henry, and the shopkeeper, then he says, "What's wrong?" "These two students came into my shop. I went to the back room to answer the telephone. When I came back, some valuable coins were missing. And the two students were gone. The policeman looks at Henry and Chloe and asks, "What do you want to say?" "Yes. We went into the shop. We wanted to look at the stamps, but we didn't steal them. And we didn't take the coins," Henry says. "Were there many people in the shop?" The policeman asks. "No. Only these two students and Nancy. Nancy works in my shop. She doesn't steal coins," the shopkeeper says. "How do you know?" asks the policeman. "I looked in her bag and pockets today. And I looked in them last week." "You can look in our bag and pockets as well," Chloe says. The shopkeeper is surprised. "Can I? Please look now." "We didn't steal any coins," Chloe says. And she hands him her bag. The shopkeeper looks in Chloe's bag and in Henry's pockets. The people at the tables near them were watching him and wondered if he will find the coins. But he finds no coins or stamps. "We didn't steal any coins. And now you know that. I'm sorry. I was wrong, but I don't understand it. Where are the coins then?" the shopkeeper says. The old man goes back to his shop. He isn't very happy. Henry says to the policeman, "Coins are very small. Perhaps they're in the shop and he couldn't see them." The policeman says, "Some young people start to play music. A girl plays a flute. We didn't steal any coins," Chloe says to the policeman. "I know," the policeman says. Chloe listens to the music. "Where did I hear that?" she thinks, and then she remembers. The flute player near the coin and stamp shop. He played that tune. Henry is watching her face. "What is it? What's wrong?" "I know. The missing coins. I know the answer. Do you?" "What is it?" Henry says. "Come with me. We're going to find the man with the flute." Chloe says to Henry and the policeman. "Which man?" the policeman asks. "He plays in the street near the old man's shop," Henry says. Then Chloe, Henry and the policeman run to the stamp and coin shop. "Hey, you," Chloe says. The flute player is about to walk away. But the policeman stops him and says, "Wait, we want to speak to you." The man wants to run now. "I'm going home," he says that, and "Oh, wait," the policeman says. He looks at Chloe. "You have the coins," Chloe says to the flute player. "No," the man says. He starts to run away. But the policeman stops him again. "How did he do it?" Henry asks Chloe. "It was the girl in the shop. We looked at some stamps, remember? And the shopkeeper was on the telephone in the room at the back. But how did the flute player get the coins?" the policeman asks. "Yes, I don't understand." Henry says. "He was standing outside the window. The girl went to the window with the coins. But there were people in the street, Henry says. Yes, perhaps people watched her. But the coins went into the flute player's hat. The coins were valuable, but the people in the street didn't know that. The girl and the flute player were very clever, Henry says. But now they're coming with me to the police station, the policeman says. He takes the coins from the flute player. After some time, a police car arrives and takes the girl and the flute player to the police station. Thank you. The coins are valuable. I want to say thank you. What can I give you? The shopkeeper says to Chloe. Chloe smiles and says, Give Henry the stamps from North America. Then he can start his stamp collecting today. Henry gives her a big smile and says, Thanks, Chloe. I love you.